Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Richardson, my name 21030500001, and today I'm going to discuss about the topic which is the role of mobile phone for English language teaching. Without wasting the time, let me begin the discussion. Mobile phone is a technology that provides simple and easy way in developing student teaching and learning activities. This study aimed to investigate the student perspective of mobile phone role in English language teaching. A qualitative design was employed for the purpose for getting the data with semi-structure. Interview was used as a research instrument. The results showed that most students were having good response towards the use of mobile phone in language learning. But some findings show the problem were also occur at the same time of using it. These research findings were contributed to next research for more deeply study for language learning. The table of content that we are going to discuss is the first introduction, method, and finding discussion. The first discussion is the introduction. Indonesia as one of developing countries in the Southeast Asia face some hindrances in technology development. The fast-changing technology makes teaching media might be adapted immediately to change the student views in preparing them to be compatible to other modern countries. Now, lecturers should provide the student with appropriate preparation to supply them with enough skill in using mobile phone. Indonesian students recently used smartphone based on the research which was conducted by Yahoo and Midshare in the middle of 2013. Stated that smartphone use in Indonesia reached 41 million people. Now, smartphone has positive and negative impact. The positive impact, which the Wi-Fi feature inside the smartphone, that can help student in learning process because it is easy for user to access the internet, get information, and complete college assignment easily. Now, the second is the negative impact is the changes of person behavior in interact and communication disorder, verbal, both directly and indirectly. Another impact is disruption of the cumulative achievement index. This is due to the time allocation between smartphone use and learning was not balanced. For example, students are studying and also playing smartphone was very difficult to concentrate and on learning process. The current condition mobile phones are not separated for many activities. Mobile phones create variation in teaching and learning process. We can see this in students who are accustomed to using mobile phone in obtaining data, and this is very helpful for them in their academic life. Mobile phones are prepared by whole parts to help them in concentrating like MP3 player. Not only that, students use mobile phone for social and enjoyment purpose. It helps them to take a break from studying. Having known the source of getting data, the researcher was going to find out what were the student opinion in the function of role of mobile phone in teaching English and to find out more about the student in using mobile phone. The second discussion is the method. The researcher aimed in this research is to find out the role of mobile phone in English language teaching. It leads several opinion and perspective for students in applying the best development technology. The condenses research has been executed into the use of operative tool in English language learning to be observed today. Seeing the background above, it display research question which is provided in the following. The first is what are the roles of mobile phone in language learning, and the second is what are the factors impacting student use of mobile phone in language learning. Now, the researcher used qualitative design to find out the role of mobile phone in learning, in language learning, and the factor in affecting using mobile phone. Now, the real phenomena was described in the actual condition occurred during process of teaching and learning by inductive data which found accurately in the field. Now, the participant of the research was 7 semester student at Universitas Islam Riau. Now, the sample was 35 students who were taking seminar and language teaching subject. The researcher collected the data during process of teaching and learning in the classroom. Our third discussion is finding and discussion. Interview result. Now, the research method used in this research also included the Billyon structure, the interview to establish the participant perception and experience on the use of mobile phone in teaching and learning process to qualitative analysis. One of the principal instruments of this research for data collection, the research is use focus group discussion. Now, which was a type comprehensive interview carried out in a group whose meeting showed feature defined with regard to the plan, range, composition, and interview process. One of the reasons for the focus group in this research was to interact inside the focus group discussion in order to find out the student perspective and the readiness of student in English program of Fakultas Keguruan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Islam Riau in using mobile phone for language learning. The focus group data was examined through thematic analysis. Now, the following step constitute the thematic way in analyzing the data of the student focus group discussion. Now, the first step was coding, of course, which included the identification and the categorization of significant ideas in the responses obtained through the focus group. After categorization of the ideas, the tally technique was used to examine how many times each idea. Now, the second step was theme finding, which included grouping of the selected idea in common themes. After theme finding, each theme was reviewed twice to ensure that all were pertinent. And the last step was writing up, in which its theme was elucidated in light of responses and the review of the pertinent literature. The finding of the present research indicate that students have appreciated the teaching mechanic of learning as it is an attractive way of learning. To sustain this interactivity and improvise the supporting feature, the technology provided should ensure the provision of high quality features such as audio, video, picture, and resolution. The factor affecting student use of mobile phone and language teaching. Now, there are six factors we use as the indicator which were to be analyzed by the researcher. Now, the six factors were the appropriate technology, institution supporting facility and maintenance, network connectivity, the bleeding curriculum to facilitate students with the technology, student actual or real life experience, and the last, the ownership of student technology belonging. An extremely important factor that has influenced mobile learning implementation in Learn English program Fakultas Keguruan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Islam Riau was student readiness. Student readiness is directly integrated with mobile self-efficiency. Mobile self-efficiency could be defined as judgment of individual of their personal capabilities for organizing and executing different course of action that are essential for the attainment of different type of performance. It's also proposed the fact that various measures of self-efficiency have to be adapted for analyzing the behavior and physiological functional of students. From a theoretical perspective, student readiness could be defined as the perception of study for being highly capable of achieving and the important tasks related to the learning and development. Now, the outcomes demonstrate that most respondents have utilized the innovation accessible of cell phone, showed that it helped for scholarly work. In conclusion, the finding of this research show positive attitude toward mobile phone in language learning as an effective approach of language teaching. Mostly of them show their readiness and opinion in using mobile phone were given them new experiment to use the mobile phone. Now the result of the research also showed that the student willingness to adapt a new framework of language learning by using mobile phone for language learning. Another result of this research showed that the significant neutral attitudes expressed by students in some section of the interview. This indicate that these participants were not aware of certain skill activities, as e-learning was not integrated in their curriculum of teaching and learning yet. Consequently, there was a need to raise student awareness of the activities and the innovation that mobile phone has brought to the language learning. Alright, I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention to watch my video. I'm very sorry if my video, if my way to bring the presentation is not very good and I have some mispronunciation. I'm very sorry for the mistake I made. And thank you very much for your kind attention to watch my video. Wabillahi taufiq walidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.